Hello students of class 12. Welcome to the online tutorial classes for Vidya Bhavan High Secondary School. I'm Megha ma'am and this video is for nutrition class 12 and the chapter that I will continue today is the malnutrition. This video is part 5. In the previous video I started the part of the effects of defective feeding. Effects of defective feeding. Effects of defective feeding. In this main point, I have already discussed the malnutrition part or the general malnutrition, the first point. Today, I will start a new point, that is the physical problems. Physical problems also lead to the defective feeding. Like if there is defectives in feeding, several physical problems can occur. Okay, so there are firstly many kind of the problems. Let me jot down the points and write one after another, then I will discuss them. Okay, so the first is vomiting. The second is colic. The third is wind. The fourth is constipation. The fifth is diarrhea. And all of these are management also you have to learn, and what is these diseases and what are the symptoms and how they are formed, you also have to learn about them. The next is food allergy. Or intolerance. Okay. The next is overfeeding. And underfeeding. The next is GOR or gastroesophageal reflux. Okay. And next is FTT or failure to thrive. Okay, and these are all, like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points, 9 physical problems that are usually happen to those all of the infants during this feeding. Okay, during this defective feeding, if there is any defect in this feeding, these things can be happen. Okay, so here from this physical problems today, the first I will discuss about the vomiting. So the vomiting can be of 3 types. Okay, the first type is innocent vomiting. Okay, the second type is the nervous vomiting. And the third type is persistent projectile vomiting. Okay, there are 3 kinds of the vomiting. So what are they? Like by definition, vomiting is the forceful expulsions of the contents of one's stomach through the mouth or something from nose. Okay, it is also called the emesis. Okay, so the scientific term is emesis. There are 3 kinds of the vomiting you can see, like innocent vomiting, nervous vomiting and persistent vomiting. First I am going to discuss this innocent vomiting. So innocent vomiting, it is the repeated effortless regurgitations you can say, and the small quantities of the milk can come out from the mouth. So it is called mainly the innocent vomiting. It is also can be seen in the very small ages for the infants mainly. The next is nervous vomiting. Nervous vomiting is a term that been characterized the vomiting which goes together with the behavioral symptoms or infant stress we can see. Okay, so it is a very important manner and very delicate manner, that is the behavioral symptom and also the stress. Like if the children is behaviorally are having this vomiting, are going to do this vomiting after they're eating, so it will continue, then we can tell it, we can term it as like the nervous vomiting. The next is persistent projectile vomiting. This condition develops of some infants in about of 2 weeks of the life, and this is due to mainly of loss of the movement of the spinal sphincter. For some children, if they are premature baby, their sphincters are not producing properly in the time of the birth. So, due to these problems, this type of the persistent projectile vomiting can be seen. Next is colic. Okay, so first, before starting the colic, I have to discuss the like management of it. Like the correct position of feeding can be helpful for the stopping of this vomiting. The feeding in the correct amount and correct formula is also very much important, and also the diagnosis by the doctors is also important. So here, in more or less all the managements are same. Like we have to feed the child properly, we have to hold the child properly in the correct position, in correct manner. We have to give a small amount of the food in correct interval, small amount of food but in small interval, in a way after sometimes of the sometimes like after every 2 hours we have to give the food to the children, because the stomach size is very small of them. So if we force them to eat, they will vomit. So, okay, so we have to think about that, and we have to give the calorigenic foods in a small amount that can meet the calorie need, as well as their stomach will be full. The second is colic. Colic is nothing but the pain in the like stomach. Okay, so infantile colic or excessive crying of the healthy thriving infants is a common problem. The first month of the life, the baby with the colic pains in the down of the knee, like starting from the abdomen till the knee, the tremendous paining happens, and that is why the baby is crying all the time. Okay, so in the infant have to settle down properly, and sometimes we can give the alcoholless dry water for the colic patients. And absolutely after taking the medicines of the doctor and after prescribing of him, okay, alcoholless dry water, okay, it is easily available in the market, and it is mainly for the colic or the stomach pain. Okay, in the next video I will discuss these more points. Still in, thank you.